Welcome to the Golden Feather. Grab a pint, grab a plate, and pick your seats. Your hosts Virtek and Chibi are back from their latest adventure.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Hi, how's it going?
Hello.
We're here today with Faisal, and a lovely treehouse, which you can see kind of down here. And if you can't tell already, we're going to be talking about this month's cosmetics, and Damien's just going to be there SMHing at us.
Pretty much. SMDH.
Shaking my head.
Yeah, shaking my damn head.
But hi Faisal, how are you? Welcome.
Hello, how are you guys?
Good, how are you? Hey Sid, welcome in. Hey Horrendous, how are you guys? So today we have a little bit of an interesting thing. Hey Woodchip, welcome back. Hi. Actually, I just looked because I use Phantom Bot and they keep track of things, and they said we are 3 away from 200 followers. So when and if we get to that 200th person follower count, I think Virtek and I would like to do kind of like a random community stream day with all of the previous guests who are interested in joining us, and do like a Jackbox party game thing.
Jackbox!
So,
Yes. Jackbox Day. Anybody can jump in, anybody can join in, and everybody can be terribly embarrassed by how well they do.
Also, love having like the community going into it, because like you can also come in as a guest, as like a viewer, and like choose things, and like that helps with changing the way the game works too. So it's like everybody can be a part of it. It's so exciting. But yeah, so today we have Faisal. We were supposed to have Alpha Soul, but he is on a trip, so we will see him when he's back from Europe. Somewhere, I think it was Europe. I don't remember. He's just on a trip. So, he's gonna have fun.
He's out there somewhere in the world.
Yeah. But we have Faisal. Hey Faisal, how did you get into Ashes?
Sir Bagel, introduce yourself.
Bagel. Sorry, Bagel. My bad.
Well, I was curiously introduced to Ashes of Creation by my friend. I really like playing MMOs. I played the Elder Scrolls Online. Played a little bit of World of Warcraft. Was really into it. Wasn't really my thing. I played other MMOs like Blade and Soul, Black Desert Online, all these things. But all these MMOs I usually played solo, surprisingly. Never group wise. So Ashes of Creation is gonna be my first group thing. Surprisingly, me saying that, I'm trying to be a traveling merchant. So most of my work is going to be solo. But hopefully when I get to know the community more, I get to see them all in my travels.
I mean, you never know. You might come across me. I might sell you some of my handcrafted potions. But like, here you go. Or exactly. Depending on which character, because I'm thinking of having an elf healer, like an elf high priest, and a what was it called? Starts with a V. The orc, I think orc.
The
Vec Oracle. So one of them, I think the Oracle is gonna do potions, and the High Priest is gonna do tailoring, basically cloth working. So I just sell you stuff and be like, okay, now go off into the world. I like it, delish. By the way, you're now a basil bagel. So
yes.
By the way,
you guys can call me whatever you want. I have like a lot of nicknames. And I'm just like, okay, it's just I keep forgetting them now on. It's just very hard to keep track of.
That's it. I'm just gonna call you something different every single time I refer to you for the rest of the stream.
Oh my gosh.
So
welcome, Hawk. Thank you for following us and our shenanigans.
So Peanut, what do you think is gonna be your favorite part of Ashes coming up? That's totally referring to you. I told you something new every single time. You're gonna have to guess. If you hear a weird name, I'm referring to you. No, you didn't put that as a requirement. You didn't say that. That was not a rule.
Okay, my favorite part of Ashes of Creation is basically that every person has an impact on the game, and that's what attracted me most compared to any other MMO. So I think that's going to be make it a game changer. Like the weather is going to change from base building to resource gathering, and how all the resources are going to be scarce from one area to another.
Right. I think that's gonna be really cool, especially like with the change of weather and the change of resources. I think that's interesting.
Yeah. And you know what? Here's the thing that I like about that. Sorry to cut you off there.
No, you're okay.
But just to agree with you on that, like I really like the fact that it's not that choices people make have an influence on the game and the environment, so much as choices they make have impact upon the environment whether they want them to or not.
Exactly.
It's not like they choose to do this thing because they want whatever. It's like if you level in an area, you're going to increase that area's everything. And if you start mining in an area, it's going to reduce you don't choose to build a town here. It just happens. It happens where it's going to organically grow and organically have an impact based on whatever you do.
That's pretty exciting.
That's why I really want to get into trading, because like if I don't like this concept of MMORPGs having this limited amount of resources that they can do and making everything so cheap and everybody just is able to make them. Like you're not putting any effort into it whatsoever.
That's what kind of drove me away from Star Wars: The Old Republic. When it first launched, I was involved with a fan site there, the Tor Syndicate, and we started from when it was still like alpha and beta and all that. But then when it launched, we were really excited about the game, and we really gave a lot of feedback to the developers and everything along the way. And then we found out that you could go out and do daily solo quests and get raid equivalent gear by going out and doing solo quests. And it really disheartened all of us. Like there's no need to go raiding at all.
Yeah, exactly.
So the thing I was gonna ask you, since this is your first time being on our show, and we've noticed you have, a streaming channel and stuff.
Yes.
I was curious about was, how do you view Ashes of Creation so far from the beginning when you first joined to now? How has your views changed, and how do you view Ashes?
It's been a roller coaster of emotions. To be honest, because how I've seen Ashes of Creation was a very creative idea. They might have stumbled upon a couple of holes on the way, like the decision of the BR, maybe my.com, that really made the community rage or roar in that sense. But I'm the type of person that I knew this was a Kickstarter. I knew there are a lot of risks to that.
Yeah.
But I am willing to wait and support these developers and creators to see this project that everybody wants to see happen. So
I like that.
I'm trying to be as patient as possible.
Yeah, I think that's the story of our lives right now. Is trying to be patient, trying to know that it does take time, and the people have gotten involved with Ashes long before most other games would let people know that anything was really being done. So
yeah. I will say one of my favorite things about our community is the life of our community. The fact that we are so oh, I'm so upset over this, or oh my god, I love this so much. The emotion that our community has with it, it's not just yeah, go Intrepid all the way, no emotion. I like that people feel comfortable with expressing their frustration about how they think the game is developing, while also understanding that I think they're supposed to be, maybe if not at the end of this month, at least at GDC, they're, I think, representing some Alpha 1 stuff. So
yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully, right? But I think something like that, while we are frustrated that things aren't always like going the way that we would hope they would go, we are also understanding that they are working very hard to do these things. And so it's like this interesting push and shove of like patience and like anticipation. It's like, I want to play, but I have to wait, but I want to play.
Exactly.
I feel like that's a lot of our community.
Yeah, it's like if only they could just hire all the developers ever and just have it done in the next 5 months.
Yeah, I mean,
but no,
we could have I'm not trying to like boo on any other game, but like we could have a game that's done in like a year or two that looked amazing initially but is total crap, or we could realize that there's some actual real life situations that happens with game development, you know, that like takes a little longer.
I'll throw a game under the bus. How about some Anthem? Just saying, how about some Anthem?
I never played Anthem, so I have no clue. But I've heard the horror stories.
Out of all the games that ever came out, I think like Anthem has replaced No Man's Sky, because No Man's Sky, they've worked so hard to redeem themselves, and I think they have.
It's I mean, honestly, well, Chibi, to give you like the quick breakdown, there were some amazing concepts, some really cool things it could do, some really awesome play style and like the feel of the game. But the producing company of the game decided to hit the reset button so many times that they had to rush towards the end to get anything out, and they wouldn't extend the deadline. So it was just, you have to start the game all over again to use a completely different engine and also get it done by this time, and no extensions, no matter how done it is.
Yeah.
And it came out, you could feel it was rushed.
Yeah, BioWare made an oopsie. As Sid put
and
it.
There's a few companies out there that you just make an oopsie by being under their umbrella. But
right, that's fair.
Pretty much.
Ah, man, it hurts. It hurts.
I'll not go that far. I won't start that bus up and throw people under it.
Did you remember EverQuest Next? I was hyped for that too, and now AOC is hopefully the last one. Oh, right. Okay, so like, what social medias? I know you have a streaming thing. What do you do with the streaming thing? Do you plan on streaming Ashes?
I do plan on streaming Ashes. I play other games. Like, I'm kind of like a variety streamer. I do play other games as well. I don't really commit to a certain game. But I might commit to Ashes when it comes out, because like I'm very hyped for Ashes and what they promised. So I have my Twitch is basically Faisal 108. And I got my Instagram, that is faisal.murad. That's what I do.
Nice.
Yeah, I just gotta, I mean, with all this talk about hype stuff, like one thing I do want to definitely put out there is just make sure you don't get too terribly hyped about it, because like I want to, I really do. But I went and I got hyped about WildStar because I thought it was just friggin' amazing. And I got burned by both the development team and the community, because the community were the first ones to really like flush the toilet on that game, because they all were going hype about how, yes, we want it to be difficult, yes, we want a challenge, yes, we want this, yes, we love this. And then it launched and people started leaving the game because it was difficult.
It's
they
too
said, we
difficult.
want it to be hard. That's exactly it. People were complaining they couldn't clear the dungeon in the first 2 weeks of the game. The first dungeon, they couldn't clear it. They had to wait like 2 more weeks to get it.
Do you know how many people in World of Warcraft are like, yes, let's keep pushing, let's keep going, come on, I know we can clear this eventually. Like,
yeah, so I'm just really, really hoping this doesn't go the same way, where the community is like all about this stuff and then the game comes out and it actually does that and people get upset.
That is true.
I would be really upset over that too, because I mean, honestly,
like, as much people give positive emotion, there's going to be the opposite, same amount of negative energy just being stored. So if it goes to the other direction, they're going to put a lot of negative energy out.
I think it's like the casual hardcore people.
Maybe.
You know, like, oh, let's make it hard. Wait, no, not that hard. I'm still a casual.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing that killed me. Is the same exact people who were like, yes, make it difficult, came back and they were crying and leaving about, it shouldn't be that difficult. What are you talking about? We almost have it beat in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
3 weeks
And
of
I'm
game
not-
launch, we're about to beat the first content the game has. The first
Right.
end game content.
Right.
Relax.
That
Relax.
sounds actually pretty easy because I think it should take at least a month to get through the full like expansion, in my opinion. I mean,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be a lot of fun. It's supposed to be like money is worth of fun, not like, well, that was fun for a few weeks. I'm bored now. Like, you know, like. I'm not trying to like be negative on anybody else's playstyle, but I'm just saying if I pay money into a game and you come out with an expansion, I don't want to be bored after 2 weeks.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Like,
But,
I if I'm gonna give you money, I want the worth of actually supporting you guys.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like,
from that support, like I want the content. I want to feel something is new. Like
Right.
what I like about Ashes of Creation is like every animal so far is so intriguing. Like I want to know how they actually made them. This is like, what were they thinking? Putting a gorilla with a raccoon, butterfly.
It's interesting, right?
Yes.
I mean, on the bright side,
Creativity
you're
of the
never
team
gonna
is
see these
fantastic.
anywhere else.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's just like, it's like someone went to like this random animal part search engine or something, and like pressed random.
Yep, they opened up Photoshop and hit randomize.
Have you
Yeah,
ever seen the webpage "Who the F is my D&D character"? It's like one of those random generators. Like it takes an adjective like clumsy or depressed, and then takes like class and then like a race and then like a random situation, and it just like mixes them together. So you get like this depressed tiefling bard who was shunned from the city and thinks that his days are numbered or something. So like it feels like sometimes they do that where it's like a random generator of like, let's see what can we come up with to mix together a little bit. Yeah, that it's so funny. Oh my gosh, I don't know.
It's
I'm sorry.
amazing.
I'm kind of obsessed with this, and I've been obsessed with this I think for a month now. So yeah. But getting into the Ashes stuff, there's been a few interesting forum posts, and I kind of wanted to start off with a obligatory kind of shout out to Shays, because Shays is always working really hard on transcripts, and I just found today that he is actually keeping a library of not only live streams but also live stream transcripts, so you can go back to any previous like stream in like transcripts and like read through it really quickly instead of like trying to find it and like watch the whole thing. Hold on, let me put it up there. I think I have it somewhere. But yeah, what did you want to start off with, Virtek?
So with the posts on the forums, I talking specifically about how we're saying we like different little mechanics and such. The leveling and PvP ideas for tanks and healers. There's a post on that one that I really liked, because that kind of touches on what we were talking about with like not having an instant game over or an instant win or anything. Like some people are concerned about there being a problem, and I'm using quotey fingers really hard here, so hard on the quotey fingers. There's a problem with leveling tanks and healers because it takes longer to level, longer to kill stuff, but I don't see there being a problem at all. And I say that from the point of view of somebody whose main is always a tank. And my secondary characters that I play very often and the most often are almost always healers. And DPS, I have them, I level them up, but I don't really play them when it comes to endgame or anything. So I mean, I have all the experience, but I still prefer most of my characters to be tanks and healers. I don't see an issue with it taking longer to kill stuff because, for one, if the grind up to max level is enjoyable, it shouldn't bother you anyway. But for 2, the DPS, you're gonna have more chances to die. And if you can kill and gain like every half a level, you end up dying like twice because you just get in too deep or whatever. Or every full level you die twice even.
Yeah.
You're gonna waste 20 minutes of your time going back to where you were, be via foot or however you need to get there to start killing whatever you're killing again, because you got to run back after you die. Now you also, in Ashes, you drop experience and you drop resources. So when you die, you not only lose the time that it takes to get back to your dead body, you also lose experience, which who knows how long of a grind that's going to be. If it's 10%, that's 10% of a level. When you start hitting big levels especially, that's a huge hit of time.
Right.
And then what, 50% resource drop? If you're fighting mobs, like who knows what you were collecting? And then you get wiped out like that. But if you're a tank or a healer, it's very, very unlikely you're going to die. You're just not going to kill it as quickly.
Yeah. Especially with the way that... Go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead, sorry. I
was
kind of interrupted you.
I was just gonna say, especially with the way clerics are playing in this game versus other games.
Yeah, like, honestly, Ashes of Creation has a different turn to clerics, because, like, they've said in their live streams that clerics aren't going to be full healing. They're going to be like heal / attack
Right.
on the field. So I'm very wondering how that's going to change the PvP and gaining of XP. Like, I don't think it's going to be as fast as DPS, but I still don't think it's going to be as slow as people might perceive it be.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And Woodchip makes a good point. Like, leveling is going to be geared around group play because that's what they want to encourage, is the MMO part, the massively multiplayer part. They want people to group. But the conversation in the thread specifically was talking about solo play, which is the only reason I'm trying to gear it out to solo. Because if you're talking about actually wanting to play in a group, people would be dummies to not want to play a tank or healer because it's slower leveling, because healers and tanks are always going to have a group.
Yeah.
Even if it's just 2 people out there, if you're a tank or a healer, you're part of that 2-person group, even if it's 2 tanks. Like, tanks and healers are always going to be in a group if there's any choice.
The other thing to think about, and as they mentioned multiple times, was that unlike places like World of Warcraft or other places with like separate gear for raiding and everyday leveling dungeon stuff, this is all going to be the same gear. So somebody's not going to like walk up to you in their like tier 3 like PvP armor or tier 2 like raid gear and just like whomp you just because like they spent most of their time PvPing or raiding, so like they have a whole other gear set that's like nothing close to what you have. Yes, I might be a little salty from playing World of Warcraft a little too long with that situation, but I'm just saying.
But yeah, so I mean, when it comes down to the tank healer thing taking longer to kill stuff on the level up, I personally don't think there's a problem. It's going to take you longer to get up to the top. If you're doing it solo, again, if you're playing solo, it's going to take you longer to get to the top. But once you get to the top, what are your options then? A tank or healer can get into any group content they want, as long as they're at least half decent doing their job. Because if you're at least half decent, you can be an off tank, you can be an off healer, you can be the guy who just catches, like, make sure everybody's topped off. The other people are going to heal the people who are almost dead to make sure they get picked up real quick.
Right.
And you'll always have access to the group content. And if you want to do solo content, of course you can do that. If you want to craft, of course you can. But DPS are the more likely to be locked out of group content because now we have too many DPS already. There's already, everybody wants to do it because it's the easiest one to get to max level. Therefore, we have 10,000 of them. We don't need any more. So you're waiting until next group, buddy.
Right.
Yeah, I was about to suggest something like that. I think most casuals will go DPS. But if a casual actually picks a cleric or a tank, I think he'll be able to find a spot to really, really quickly.
And that's, I think, the And I think you have a good point there too. Like, because if a casual wants to make sure that they can do very meaningful content when they log in, then yes, pull a tank or healer, because then you can jump right into group content and you'll get geared up quickly
Instantly.
because there's very few tanks and healers in a group. So if tank or healer gear drops, whatever role you are, you're probably going to get that gear.
Right. I like what Woodchip just said. Woodchip said that they read that thread too, and you can solo but expect it to be slower progression than group no matter what class. You choose your playstyle, live with that choice, kind of. And I can agree with that because, I mean, there are people that definitely feel like they play more solo, but at the end of the day, I think progression only happens in groups as far as this game works. Now, can you go off and do your own solo thing within your guild? Like, go collect things for your guild or whatever and do your own solo thing? Sure, why not? But in order for there even to be a town evolving into a different node stage, you need a whole group of people to do that. And
yeah, see, the only time I've ever really leveled solo is when either none of my friends were online at all, because it was a really odd time of day or night and literally nobody I knew was on and I didn't feel like looking for anybody new.
yeah.
Or when it was like my 7th character I'm leveling up and I'm just watching Netflix and mindlessly clicking on things to kill to slowly level because I don't care. And it's my 7th person and it's going to be a grind no matter what.
I feel like this is going to be very different with Ashes, though. I feel like there's going to be a lot more investment in each character against something like World of Warcraft or BDSO or any of those. I mean, with BDSO, the 5 minutes that I played, it felt like I would have invested in one character because it's so grindy. But, I mean, aside from that, I think, like, yes, solo play should be available, but at the end of the day, I feel like the time spent on one character, maybe two, is going to be more rewarding long run than like the thousands of alts that World of Warcraft players have, because we get bored. We want all the things.
Yeah. And see, honestly, as long as you're with somebody who's of like mind, I mean, the leveling up and cruising around with a group should always be the preferred way to go. Because it's more fun with other people. It's more interesting, especially if it's like some of your later characters and you're kind of drained of having fun on the leveling up. It can, I mean, even though it contradicts what I said earlier, like how I will do that solo just because it's whatever, and I don't really care about when I level it. But if you do want to keep the leveling part exciting and fun, it's better to go with a group. I mean, Chibi, you and I, we ended up starting new characters with a friend who was streaming the process to level up, and we were having a blast. We got up to what, like level 30 or something in like 2 days, just goofing off.
What are you?
Yeah.
What am I? What are we doing?
What are we doing? Where are we going? I thought you were the leader.
It was so much chaos. It was so fun. Oh my gosh.
It was chaos and amazing, and people were shooting off all their toy things everywhere. And
yes.
It was fantastic.
It was hilarious. It was...
What mayhem have you guys went to?
It was funny because this one guy just kept getting lost and he was like, where are you? Where am I? What's happening? Wait. You're not leading? Wait, I followed the wrong person. It was so funny. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, also alts, but my main will play exclusively with my friends in guild. Yeah, that's kind of the same way that I think Virtek is feeling. Like alts, just because like you've already done it so many times, just like meh, zombie mode.
I mean, even for solo players, the fact that you can go alone and solo level and meet new people and try to make groups with them, I think that's like an amazing feeling to actually connect with people that are inside the game, interact with the community, get to know them. What's it called? It just opens a lot of doors to you as a solo individual who's trying to level up. So
yeah. I feel like a good balance is necessary because, I mean, while it's fun to go with a group, I think sometimes you need to go solo just to see where you're lacking in your skills, especially with Ashes being more of a skill-based game. where like if you hit things in a certain amount of time, or like you stack things in the right order, you get bonuses to your attacks or whatever. So I think going solo and like paying attention to things like that can definitely be beneficial for like being in a group and then becoming better. But at the same time, as a healer for World of Warcraft and being in raids, it was fun being in a group and like comparing myself with another healer and being like, who's healing more? Is it me or you? Like, you know, it's fun. It's fun either way. I think they both have perks, you know, all in all. But I'm excited. I can't wait to actually try this. I know that character generators are coming soon, TM. And we're gonna get a first look at Alpha 1 for GDC soon, TM. But
Alpha 1 GDC!
Woo! But yeah, I think Virtek and I are gonna try to swing out to GDC this year, if nothing else, just to be like, hi Intrepid, we live like 7 hours north of you.
Down the road.
Yeah,
wood chip. We're gonna be trying to make it. It's kind of expensive, and it's not really geared around fans and players and whatnot. It's more geared around developers, so it's kind of like a bit of a toss of money.
We'll just bring them a bunch of food, but like, hi, love us.
Yeah, but we're both looking at potential promotions here soon at our respective works, so we'll see what happens. If we end up both getting them, we might splurge. And
I'll keep you guys updated on mine, because my possible promotion may include me traveling to Texas. So well, I'll have to like figure out, like, cause if Virtek is here and I'm gonna be in Texas, I'm like, so whose time zone are we going with? Let me get acclimated. You know. But no. Go ahead.
We don't make content for GDC. No, we're strictly players. We don't do development at all. That's why we're saying it may not be worth the money for us.
Yeah.
But if we get the promotions, then we'll probably just buy in kind of as a splurge just to go and check stuff out. But
yeah, I know that before I leave, I'd love to go down and possibly get some of your questions for the Intrepid teams. So if you have any questions for Intrepid, feel free to like pop into our Discord and submit some questions. So we can collect
that sounded so shady. Yo, listen, I know a guy that is going to meet even, and I think I can like push out your question through.
Oh gosh.
I know a guy. I got an inside man here.
But yeah, I mean, technically we live in California. We're 8 hours north. It's just waiting on actual free time to be able to go down to Intrepid possibly and visit them, because a few of the people that we were in groups with before have gone, and I mean, we're in California. I'd like to go.
Yeah, our timing is just rough right now because they've been in process of trying to move to the new studio for months, and we're kind of waiting until they get to the new studio before we try to hassle them and bustle into their space.
Right.
Plus, maybe we'll be some of the first to be able to be like, hey guys, check out the inside of this place. Who knows? Fingers crossed on that.
I finally might be able to use the microphone my dad gave me for my camera. Just like attach it, be like, hey guys, what's up? Vlog style, I've never done this.
Nice.
Yeah. But so moving on, boss mechanic suggestion.
Yeah, I thought this one was interesting. Just people were talking about different mechanics that they really liked from past games and previous ideas, and I kind of am a fan of a lot of them, to be honest. I like some of the platforming stuff, and I like jumping was one thing that V-Mangman said that isn't really in many games, and I like that, you know, like shock waves coming out that you got to jump over, fire waves you got to jump over. Like that's one reason, talking about Anthem, that I really loved is like the flying mechanics. Like introduce more thought that you have to. Yeah, wood chip. That's exactly why. Like $250 just to go is like, woo. That's expensive for somebody who's not a developer going for a business reason.
Yeah.
But it's right down the road for us.
For reference, I've been in college for video game design art initially, and I've always wanted to go to GDC because that was, you know, video game design, right? Look for potential employers, possibly. I don't know, but yeah, my friend.
Might be your bubble.
Yeah, right. My friend gets to go. Actually, I think my friend developed a game. I have to go look in on that, but I have a good friend that I went to college with, and she went to GDC all the time, and I think she was displaying at GDC one year. I thought that was really cool, but yeah, I always wanted to go because why not? It's like an hour, and why not? And then the price, and I'm like, oh, because college student is broke. Huh.
But
Sad life of a college student.
Right.
That could be a
Speaking
title
of-
of a book, by the way.
Speaking of our college student down here, with
Yeah.
the, we asked him if he was okay because he was worried about his camera flickering, and we were worrying it was the beginning of a horror movie.
Yes. God damn it, lights.
Good lights. But but yeah, going back to that post thing, yeah, there's actually some nice suggestions that I hope, and I'm pretty sure that Intrepid is going to be incorporating many of these things, because they said they want there to be unique mechanics and things that really make you work as a team. So I always think back, because they said healing as a component, and I always think back to Ice Crown Citadel.
Oh,
And World of Warcraft, where you had the dragon that you had to go in and heal.
Yes, that was
You
my
had to
favorite.
go in
I
a
healed her with a
portal.
bandage.
You had to go in a portal to collect the little sparkly things to come back out and heal her back to full so she could eradicate all the enemies. And it was such an interesting fight. Like a lot more interesting as a healer, because
They're
I
so
went in as a
fun. Yes, because
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not very often that you get to do that. I got to go in with my freaking level 80 archer or hunter, and I healed her with a bandage. I was just shocked that I could do that. I was like, oh my god, it worked.
the skill that I rarely use, it works.
Yeah, right. But like,
Exactly.
yes, bring more of those. I mean, the reason why I'm so into these and I'm getting so hyped about this is because as a D&D GM, my favorite things are using non-combat ways of getting through like dungeons and situations, and they bring so much more of an interest to the game and to the scenario in general, in my opinion. It just, how can I do this without, like, because if I choose to fight them, I'm going to die. That's just how the mechanic works for some of those scenarios. So how am I gonna get through this without dying, without combat? That's really cool. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'll
the more
stop
off the beaten
nerding.
path, the more interesting.
Yeah. I'll put the nerd away for a little bit.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right. But yeah,
We're
if you look
all
through your
nerds at the end of
Dreamwalker,
the day. It's fine.
that
Right.
one and the twin dragons in Bastion of Twilight.
Yes.
That one had a neat mechanic too, where you had to go in and out of the dream realm, I guess, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I don't know what they called it really, but you had to go in the one realm and kill the baddies in there and take another portal back out, and then you're suddenly in the middle of a fire, hoping to not die.
Right.
So check this out though. There's a really cool idea in there that was brought up by X Langatang, X whatever that is. I don't know what a Langatang is, but the crafting, talking about a gelatinous cube that I guess you got to beat it up, and the items that you need to actually defeat it, you have to craft on the spot using items that drop off of the creature as you beat it up. So you got to go in and like beat it up a little bit, and things fly off of it that you got to use to craft on the spot to actually destroy it, to then
Oh,
get
God.
better items to
Can you
drop after you
imagine
kill
how
it.
cool that would be? Oh my gosh. I mean,
Imagine if you haven't put a single point in crafting.
Yeah.
well, I'm wasted. No, I mean, I'm excited for this. Oh my gosh, that is pretty cool. I agree. Like, oh my gosh, I love these moments. I love what people can come up with that are like out of the box ideas. Ugh, this is what I live for. This is what
Yeah,
makes
that's one
games
that
like
I got an
D&D so
instant
fun.
smile on when I read it. Like that one's one I really hope they actually kind of do. Because
Yeah.
imagine if the recipe you need to beat this magical monster is like something you can get at level 1 that seems completely useless. And then
Right.
as you're beating up on something, it's dropping all these level 1 item components. But that level 1 item, like spatula or whatever, is what you need to go like smack it around. And that spatula is what actually defeats this creature.
Smack with the
So like everybody can get the recipe, and then when you start hitting on it, you have no idea why it's dropping these little tiny gray items except to make a spatula. Why?
That's true,
So
which they
weird.
did say that. They said that the crafters are required for harvesting bosses. So
Yeah.
Yes.
if you need
Well,
a
here's hoping.
healer who also does like cloth crafting, hi. or the alchemy crafting, hi. But
Like you'll probably have the people who are the extractors, then you got the producers in crafting. And
Yeah.
that's what I really like about Ashes of Creation, that I gotta think about these other people, because if I don't think about them, my guild or the settlement won't be working proficiently.
right.
Mhm.
So
Hey,
it's really nice.
And you bring up a really good point. There's a guy I played with in a guild at one point. He's still out there and he plays a bunch of games, but he plays the auction house game. Like he plays the market. That's his meta game. And his way of doing and completing all of the raids is he goes through and becomes a millionaire and buys lots of things and gears up the raids that go through and beat it. And as soon as they beat it, they carry him for free.
Yeah.
Because he just, well, quote unquote for free, but he was supplying all the rations and everything for people to make it through the raid, because he just made an overabundance of money. And then he just got a free ride through a raid.
Yeah, pretty
That's
much.
pretty cool, actually. So
that I was just gonna say that's gonna be a very, very valid strategy if crafters are the ones providing the top tier stuff for raiding and just gear in general.
I'm excited for that.
They're going to provide the highest thing, but I think the top tier weapon / armor is going to be monster drops. I think crafters will be able to learn the legendary weapons, but they won't be categorized as legendary because they will downgrade to high tier only.
It'll be a poor imitation or a good imitation, but not really the real thing.
A knockoff.
You do have a good point. There are going to be the legendary weapons, and obviously the legendaries are probably going to be the strongest out there. But when it comes to typical, like what the typical person's going to have access to, I think is going to be like raid dropped materials that get crafted into items. And maybe, maybe some legendary knockoffs. Maybe that'll be a thing. You can study the legendary and you can get everything except for the super special power that comes equipped with it.
Right. Well, don't forget there's also legendary skills possibly. So
legendary
really
spells
cool.
and such.
Yeah.
One theory I would love them to apply, if they wanted us to actually craft a knockoff of the original, they would actually make us go to this like deep into the mountain forge just to be able to craft it.
It must be dipped in the lava fires of whatever.
Right.
Yep.
So just to kind of move it along, because we are closing to the last half of our session here. We have this month's cosmetics. Hello, welcome for those of you joining. I noticed you guys. Welcome in. Plan B, Leverage, Illyrian, welcome. So here we have this month's cosmetics, and I love the treehouse. I've just decided that that's what it's going to be known to me for, is treehouse.
Oh, what a lovely treehouse!
You think it will have fruits and we're able like to pick some fruits out of it? That would be amazing.
Maybe this one looks like a cherry blossom though. Too pink.
Yeah, I know that I'm very long shotting it, but I wish that they would apply that.
It definitely reminds me of cherry blossom though.
Yeah. I'm also gonna say, hey, sorry, Intrepid, but there may or may not be an incomplete paragraph on that because they talk about some of the lore on the treehouse, but the very last thing kind of cracks me up. What is it? So, law, the scintillarium. The Dunir craftsmanship is among the finest in terms of raw skill and precision, but the works of the Purai are masterful in their own right. Nature is itself an endless source of beauty, and the Purai draw upon the essence of the land to imbue and bless their creations. The tree that rests upon the scintillarium not only distinguishes the establishment from others, but it is also a source of earthen energy to draw power from. It is this sacred energy that blesses the unions of its wearers. Of what's wearers? What's it wearing? What are they wearing? I don't know. This sacred energy that blesses the unions of its wearers. I think they missed something. Unless they're talking about like the wearers of, I don't know.
Wearing the cosmetic.
But it's a house. How does one wear a house?
It's still a cosmetic that you apply to the house.
I guess so. Maybe it clears up a lot of things actually. Like, I could imagine people like if the orcs had their own style of buildings and they would like put this cosmetic on, like it would be something that the house wears.
Yeah. House wears.
This thin sheet of paper that makes it look different.
Leverage thinks that maybe a giant could wear it.
Oof.
But yeah, a freehold building. It doesn't really say what building it is.
Yeah.
What's it supposed to do?
Pretty much. And then they have this nice like chameleon mount thing. It looks kind of interesting.
I want the chameleon. Honestly, the chameleon I think is the only thing I really want out of this set. Everything else is kind of like.
The pet is cute, but I like the treehouse the most. Okay, so I had a question. I know that the treehouse is Pyre, but do you view me as more of an Empyrean or a Pyre elf?
Boom, 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 boom.
I was just curious.
Oh wait, I just noticed something about the outfits that they're wearing. They're wearing the mask from last year's February.
I think so, yeah.
Are they?
Yeah, they're wearing the masks of love or infatuation or something like that.
I'll go look it up. It's on the wiki,
I
think.
Yeah, last February's cosmetics. Maybe the staff was there too. I forget what all of them were. I just recognized the mask.
Maybe it's an Easter egg.
Look at that. Look at that, thinking all ahead and stuff.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, it looks fancy. Like I think if I would walk on the streets in the middle of the city, I would be the only pimp in existence, just like walking. Yeah.
Maybe I will buy that outfit just so I can fit into the fancy parties.
Right?
Maybe.
But the dumpy donkey looking things, they have their appeal, but I don't know. It's not as appealing to me.
I mean, I think the donkeys are basically the elves of like donkeys because of their pointy heels, pointy ears. But the only thing that I don't like about the donkeys is that they're using them as labor. And you're supposed to cuddle it, man. It just doesn't work this way.
Low-key, that just kind of reminded me of I forgot what it was called. It's like, it looks like maybe like a hamster or like a badger, but it's like humongous. I forgot what they are called. But basically
I'm sorry. I'm dying of laughter with Z's comments. Eater, never eater. What the fuck? I think she's calling me rude for calling it a dumpy donkey.
Oof.
I mean, they're cute. Don't get me wrong. Nah, Z, nothing to apologize for. But yeah, I mean, he's adorable. Don't get me wrong. It's just, he has a very Eeyore, like a fluffy Eeyore kind of vibe. But I don't know. maybe I don't know. Maybe the pet. We'll see. I mean, I tried. It was a valiant effort. It's late at night for you anyway, so
Or early in
any
the morning,
mistypings
rather.
or randomness is totally forgiven.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 2 a.m. here, so
The
I'm
mask of
pretty cool
affection,
with
right?
it.
Yeah, mask of affection.
Here you guys go. Here's the mask of affection. And I can see what you're talking about.
But yeah, sorry
It's
if I
very
derailed a little bit there. I was just I was dying from Z.
No, it's
good.
fine. It's fine.
Nothing but love, Z. Nothing but love.
Nothing but love. That's all
But,
that matters in this world. Is
To
love.
continue on, we have the what was it? The Trivia Tuesday from February 4th.
Yeah. So I think everybody's probably seen that, but I thought it's neat that they're starting to do some interactive stuff like that. I mean, they've kind of been doing it, but it's becoming a little bit more regular. So
Oh, speaking of
Like
more
Grace
regular, or like
Huh?
something I forgot to mention, by the way, with the cosmetics, they're only available till March 4th at 11 a.m. And the reason why I'm making sure to announce that is because I didn't realize until this very post that they've actually been giving us the end dates and times for the cosmetics. So I was like a little confused. I was like, wait, no, I wasn't ready.
Yeah, she went to buy them once where it was like minutes or like an hour or two after the cutoff time.
Well, I think that's
Bless
happened a couple
I.
of times because there was like that one time I think maybe a year back, or it was sometime during like the October months. I don't remember if Margaret was with us yet or not, but there was literally like, I think 2 weeks that there was a new cosmetic and then there was another new cosmetic. And we're like, wait, what? We just barely got the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there was one that lasted 2 months.
Yeah, then there was like, yeah, so
Mhm.
it was like a little bit like not consistent, but I'm glad to see that like with Margaret, apparently this has been going on for a year now. Sorry if I'm like just catching on to this, but in case anybody else has missed it, now you know, and I'll make sure to announce this too each month just because that way I can make sure that like people like me don't lose out on the opportunity. Just remember, March 4th, 11 a.m., last chance. And check your spam folders, because, I mean, I've checked all of mine, but Virtek got an email for the last day. Like, the day before they go away, they send you an email. I, unfortunately, have probably an issue with mine, because I'm not getting those emails, but Virtek did. So, I'm gonna have to check out and figure out what's going on with that one, but, yeah. So, just wanted to touch on that. Yeah, just keeping people informed, pretty much. I mean, apparently there's a good bit of the community that doesn't really care about cosmetics, but I kind of love cosmetics, so I care, so I will announce it to you guys as well. I think they try to, like, announce it during the live stream, too, so.
And if you don't feel like buying all these cosmetics, you can go to the store and actually just buy one of them separately.
Yeah.
Apparently, I did not know this until they released
no.
like fifth cosmetic, so I just assumed that I had to buy all of them just to to get to one thing that I wanted to.
Oh no.
So I missed out
Oh man.
on all of the Arabic cosmetics that I wanted.
Oh.
That's a tough
Yeah,
decision,
wrapped.
Woodchip. That's a really tough decision.
Oh, that was all the storm stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Like the storm raiments and all that. Yeah, that was a really cool month. Ah.
If I get a good enough promotion, I don't know. I mean, the next upgrade doesn't seem too far away for our packages.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be a thing. Like if I can sensibly afford it, I'm doing the upgrade. Which what's the leader of men? I know that you get the guild associated cosmetic stuff.
Yeah.
The guild hall and all that. I'm trying to remember what else the big difference was. Is that one?
I'm not sure, but I know that if you go to the shop, they lay it out because I'm PI. I forgot. Do that instead of GDC, right? Z.
Yeah,
2,500 to go to GDC or 2,500 to upgrade Rashes of Creation.
Yeah, privileges.
That's fair.
I'm just sitting down here at 500, looking at you guys. Hi.
But
I don't know. If it's only 250 to go, I mean, maybe we can convince Intrepid to do lunch somewhere outside of GDC. We can just drive it, up to San Francisco for that.
Oh geez, yeah. Last year they were rammed with people talking to them. Apparently. Well, I mean, it's a pretty hot game. Like, it's a hot topic. I mean, it's a hot topic and it's a controversial topic because people can't figure out what the heck Ashes is right now. Apparently, is it an MMO? MMO? Is it an MMO or is it a
Is it
VR?
an
Shush, shush.
Like,
I've had 4 hours of sleep. I'm allowed to mess up a little.
if you write Ashes of Creation right now on YouTube, like, you'll actually find half of the people talking about MMORPG and half of the other people talking about the VR.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are definitely confused on what they're trying to do. But hopefully now and onwards, we'll get a defined scope of what Ashes of Creation is gonna be.
Yeah, and honestly, if you guys are interested in checking out our YouTube channel, I have all of these videos that are going up, and the ones that are being finished up by Virtek, under the Ashes of Creation Apocalypse, like, whole series. And then when Alpha 1 comes out, I'll swap it up, and I'll see if I can work with some people in the community to get a different layout and kind of like change up our feel as the game changes. I thought that'd be kind of cool. So yeah, that would be kind of fun. But yeah, so there's the Pyrian Elves. When is your next live stream? Our next live stream will be 2 weeks from now on the 22nd. At like 5 p.m. PST. I'm not exactly sure who our guest is at this moment. I think we have some ideas, but we need to confirm. But also, like Faisal did, if you guys are... Oh, horrendous. Thank you so much.
Oh, hey,
I appreciate that. But if you are interested in being a guest like Faisal was, just reach on out to us and be like, yeah, put me on your show. I'll be like, okay, cool. So...
Like, it was the most random interaction ever. I'm like, Chibi, I'm free. You can put me on. I was like, and she was like, okay.
Okay.
Like, 2 days later,
here we are.
On the show, I'm like, yay.
We are actually already in a guild. We're part of Nexus. We're not afraid of sharing that. It's just, I don't think that's the focal point of our podcast necessarily. We like to highlight the community evenly, but just so you guys know where we stand with Nexus technically, yeah. So.
I'm a traveling merchant. I belong to no soul.
Such a nomad rebel.
Yeah, I think I would love to start a guild, but I feel like that'd be way too much effort on my side. I think Virtek and I have plenty of plans that are going to be time consuming, and having a guild would just be like a knockout for both of us.
Yeah, we're already like got a lot of work ahead of us because we're looking to do a website with a lot of. We have some very ambitious plans for it.
Yes,
I'll put it that way.
Boom, boom.
And I will say,
ambitious plans.
I will say, those of you that are subscribers, I am so excited because as soon as I get some free time, because between Virtek and I, we're working on full stack development, different stacks, but still full stack development nonetheless. I'm going to use a mock-up of our hopeful website as a practice for one of my things, because it's a forum-based kind of thing with like a back end and everything. So I'm really hoping to get that going. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
But yeah, aside from that, we have our lovely Z in stream. And here's her cute little bear.
Stufferton. I'm surprised they hadn't highlighted that one before, because that's been what, like 17 years since you made that, right?
17.
It's been forever. Like, I think you made that before they started the game.
So okay, which one did she make? Did she make the one on the left, or did she make the one on the right, or did she make both?
She does a lot of the clay work stuff. So
yeah, here's the one on the left. The one on the right was like the concept art for the mount.
Yeah.
Nice.
I just wanted to share that because it's adorable, and like, I don't know if anybody else gets this feeling, but like between Z's and the fan art, I'm kind of getting like visionments of like the little mall carts that you can give like kids where they're on like the wheels and they're like nee and like just like scooting through on like a little stuffed animal. That's what this reminds me of, kind of.
I want to make a Stufferton rocking horse now.
That'd be cute.
And put like little wheels and like a little like the handles by his ears.
It's like half teddy bear, half real bear. I'm not sure how to feel about it. I'm also a little like concerned because are the things that are feet going on, are those like his insides coming out a little bit? Like, I'm a little nervous. Will I have to stop and restuff him often?
I don't know. Maybe that's Stufferton fuel.
Maybe.
Stufferton fuel.
You're gonna have to keep visiting the cotton fields to keep him going.
Yeah.
This fluff is falling, right? But yeah, so I mean, I had fun today.
It's so fluffy.
There was a lot covered. I'm excited.
It's so fluffy,
I
can ride.
die. But yeah, his fluff is falling, right? I went to eat him. No, that's bad. Don't eat him.
That would take a lot of water to keep your mouth from drying eating the Stufferton. Poor Stufferton. Jeepers.
Why do you want to eat him? He's filled with cotton. You're no tapeworm, or actually not even a tapeworm. You're no bug to eat cotton.
Yeah. But I got him. But yeah, I just I need to head to bed soon, and also we've been up for an hour, so yay! Thank you guys for joining us, and thank you Faisal for being our guest. I got 4 hours of sleep last night, so I'm trying not to be super awkward right now. So yeah, I'm probably gonna go pass out after this. But thank you guys for stopping by and chatting with us. I mean, I'm excited for the new cosmetics in general. I think it's kind of cool. Let me know what you guys think of the little individual cosmetic things being littered around our stream, like as like a little additionals. I kind of enjoy it. I think they're kind of fun.
I dig it.
I think it also like helps remind people like, oh hey, if you haven't gotten that cosmetic, here's one of them. Gotta go look for those real quick, kind of things. But
just saying, yeah. I'm a huge fan of the chameleon. But yeah, thanks everybody for stopping by, spending your time with us.
And again, we'll see you guys on the 22nd at 5 p.m. PST, and check out us on Twitter for any updates as to who our guest will be. So, as well as the topic, if we can figure it out before then. Hopefully Ashes is on the same week as us, but I have a feeling they're probably going to be the week after again.
Probably going to be the week after again, just to mess with us.
Right.
Pretty much.
All right, Basil, thank you for stopping by. Thanks much for talking with us and chatting with us.
Pleasure as always, guys.
Thank you so much, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Adios.
Bye.